Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Oh, what's that? Started the stream and I got this alert. All right. How's it going, everyone? Let me just make sure everything is okay. A-okay. All right. I'm gonna go over obviously Bitcoin, and then I'm gonna have a look at CLORE, AI, AVA, which is Travala, and CBY. And then also I'm just going to obviously look at TRVL and maybe some other things that some people are interested in. I'm going to get too distracted. Yeah. So I'll probably start in about 5 minutes. Maybe this video has popped up on people's alerts, and so just wait for them to come. While I'm there, I'm just going to kind of look at Bitcoin. Just have a look and see. I'll go through my list. I'll go through my list here and see what's going on. Let's have a look at this. Oh, it hasn't opened yet, so that's that. Let's have a look at ETH BTC. Pulling back a little bit. Okay. It's a bit of an SR flip there, ETH BTC. All right. How far did it go, actually? And check that. Didn't really hit any levels. I think this for ETH BTC to hold, to put in a low here, it kind of needs to get back above there, and it kind of needs to find support here. That would be 50% of this move to the upside. Ideally, you want that to happen today, to be honest with you. And maybe Bitcoin is going to pump. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has actually lost this 50 fib level. And we've had a little bit of a back test, maybe another back test, a double back test. So Bitcoin dominance is looking a little bit weak. That's good. It's good for altcoins for that to happen. DXY is looking weak too. Not looking strong. That's good. That's what we want. Total market cap is still looking pretty nice at the highs here. Looking really nice. It actually, the total market cap is definitely a V-shaped recovery there, isn't it? V-shape. I've been talking about this V-shape for a few days now. You look at this, the total market cap excluding Bitcoin has V-shaped. So how amazing is that? That is a V. We have a V. We have a V. V. I've been talking about the V-shape. I don't always predict V-shapes. I think V-shapes are usually unlikely, but I've been wrong about V's twice in the last year, because I just didn't expect it and it happened. And so this time I was like, fuck it, there's going to be a V. Put your money where your mouth is. We're going to have a V-shaped recovery. And as you can see, after the dip a few nights ago, we were kind of like right here, and I was saying, no, we're going to V. We have to V. Look, this is the others market cap excluding Bitcoin and ETH. That's V'd. And so the only market that's lagging, no, that's a V. We have a V. We have a V on the cards. So V V to the moon. This is lagging a little bit, isn't it? So Bitcoin itself is slightly lagging, but for all intents and purposes, V-shape recovery. Okay. Again, I was talking about this V-shape recovery on Tuesday. Let's have a look. Actually, I'm quite interested to see what I was saying. Hi David, how's it going? I haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been? I'm just kidding. I know where you've been. You've been avoiding me. Distracting. Let's have a look. What did I say? We were going lower, and even then, the value area low. Let me mute this a bit. Active, isn't it? ABC. Is that Tuesday? Let's go. My videos are so long, it's hard to find. Hard to find anything. Maybe it was Wednesday. I'd like to see what I said actually. Tuesday night chilling. Maybe it was Tuesday night chilling. So David, altcoin dreaming. I was waiting for the Trump pump. You know, on YouTube, it's meant to here it is. Triple bottom. Altcoin dreaming was imagining some kind of three drives pattern on this. Let's take it from the absolute bit. Is that? We'll see. 3, 4 over 5 here. Particularly the 1-to-1. At the moment, we are holding the point control as support. I was going to look at surf, wasn't it? But basically, if it goes up to 4. Oh God, I don't know where I talked about it. To be honest with you, I talked about it a few times, and oh, there it is. The way it's closed, so those are increasing volume. That was good, decreasing volume, and then it pumped. And now we're getting increasing volume. So I'm not fond of increasing volume with down moves. And here you see the last 12 hours, we've actually got increasing volume. So I'm not crazy about that. This is interesting because so I had it on my chart, didn't I? Look, you can see. I just don't know where I talked about it. I have to find it. But look, I had the V. It was on my mind. It's basically followed my path, huh? And I think the reason why is that we had this kind of midpoint channel, the 618 back test here. It was a crazy higher time frame levels. Those higher time frame ones are the best, literally the best. So the price always looks like the worst when it hits those big levels, and then it suddenly reverses, and then people are like, oh my God, I should have done something. And then also yesterday, what we were talking about in the stream was another V. It was this V here. So, and I was thinking that's another V. That's a really nice place to find support. It's hard because it looks bearish, up and away. You know, so it's not easy. I think when it comes to these kind of scenarios where you have these SR flips, if you do lose, you loses it, you will get a back test, you know. So there will be there usually is an exit if people are caught off guard. And then when you have an SR flip like that, you don't want to lose it. You have to hold it. So if you do lose it, then the trade has gone wrong. So you have to exit and then reevaluate, even if it comes back to your position, because it could definitely find resistance and go back down. But in this situation, I'm feeling really good about the price action, to be honest with you. It was a dip. It cleared out a ton of liquidity. This candle yesterday was really nice candle. If you look at the candle, you can basically see, and I was telling everyone yesterday I liked it. You know, I like that candle. It was a nice candle for the bulls. It was a very nice candle for the bulls, just simply because you've held, you've back tested and you've held, and that's a profit take candle, and the next candle has now just pushed up. So it can only ever go up or down in that situation. You wouldn't expect anything other than that. And because you've back tested support and you've held, you're expecting the probabilities up, not down. Now we're coming up to this other daily level here, slightly higher. I think for this actual V-shaped recovery to be effective, I really want to see us take the top there, to be honest with you, for a full V. So we have our first V, which is which was here on a lower time frame. That was our first V-shaped recovery on a lower time frame. Yeah, that was our first V. And now you just have to scale the V's up to the highest one. So you've got 2 hour, but really you want to take the high. So that would be a V too, isn't it? That's a V. Now, it is possible to not take the high, to take that high, and then fall back into your pullback. Yeah, that would look bearish too. A little bit, because you're putting in a lower high here from that pivot, but you're not really, because you're actually taking out that high. So realistically in this price action, even if we don't take the high there, we have to take that high for a V-shaped recovery. That's the pivot. Okay, that would be a V on this time scale, which is the 4 hour time scale, and obviously on the daily time scale, that would be the pivot to take. So in terms of Venus, and obviously there's two types of V here. We have a SFP and then fall into a downward move because you have a big take profit. I'm actually thinking that's more likely. I'm not thinking we're just going to smash through. And then that's the other V, isn't it? To kind of smash through and come back and find support on the neckline. Yeah. I'm actually in this circumstance, I'm thinking let's SFP and let's pull back. Let the altcoins run. Yeah. Come back to a target, maybe this daily level here, 50%. So possibly we had the daily here. Let me have a look at the daily. So I said daily open, that's probably going to be a daily level, which it was. I said last night, this is probably the best time to buy because it's going to be a brand new daily level. Okay, and I was right. Obviously I was right. In hindsight, it's clear that I was right. And now if we go up and take the highs, that would be nice, a higher high. Then I'll be looking for a pullback all the way back down to 50% of the fib, which would probably be this daily level now. Okay, so it would 50% of the fib to the daily level, which means we would go up to like 101k down. That's kind of what I'm imagining. Go up, take the highs, fall back down, 50 fib, daily level, and then maybe back test of this value area, this kind of local value area, or if I pull the Trump pump value area, let's have it just update that as well. Let's have a look at the Trump pump. Sometimes I do that, it doesn't work. Ali Hash, good afternoon. Slurf me up, says Ali Hash. Ali Hash, did you join my new Discord? Are you interested? I can send you an invite. I've set up a new Discord just to kind of everyone who comes to my streams and kind of just chat and stuff here. I can send it to you. Let me find it. I'm doing that. Invite people. How do we do this? Edit invite link. Okay, we do this. 1 hour, 5 uses. That's fine. There you go. It's brand new. Set it up yesterday. Altcoin Dreaming is actually helping me. David and Altcoin Dreaming are helping me with that. So that's appreciated. So this is the Trump bump volume, value area high, point of control, value area low. No real changes, to be honest with you. It's pretty much the same. You've got this kind of local area volume, and the value area of this local area is actually the daily open from today, or potentially probably the daily will be a brand new daily level. So again, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking let's go up and take the highs here. Let's get everyone really bullish. Let's start buying above 100. Yeah, let's pull back for the weekend. Yeah, first it will start with a little bit of an alt season, a Saturday alt season, and then maybe Sunday will end up with a crypto dump all the way back down to 50%, which will be a daily open for next week, and then we can just plow through this, and then the next move is going to be let's go to the moon, continue. That's at the moment what I'm thinking, just based on us taking the 100k level today. And then obviously the only other alternative here, there's two other alternatives. I'm not really expecting a lower high here, but I mean, you always have that possibility. That kind of has to happen. You almost have to get to here and stop for a lower high here. It'd be very unusual, but you know, you'd have to really stop here, huh? And not take that high, and you just have a lower high here, and that would look much worse, wouldn't it? I mean, it wouldn't be a V shape, it would be a lower high. I think if you've got a lower high there, you're going down much deeper. You'll be looking to go down much deeper. Okay, and effectively what you're doing here is you're consolidating here rather than actually trying to go up. You're trying to fill the volume here more than you are trying to push up and fill the volume higher up. So I don't like that as a bullish idea. I don't like a lower high here. I think really we should take the highs and get to 100k probably today, hopefully. But then if you do get a lower high here, you get a little bit of a rejection. It's tricky. I mean, I think you have to kind of go up there like that quickly. You wouldn't want to just fall back down here after a lower high, because that would just look like basically you have a little bit of a pivot now that we're trying to clear, aren't we? And we don't really want to fall back now that we're trying to get above the pivot. I mean, the 12-hour didn't close above it, did it? And we really need to push through right now. Okay, I think probably we could, just simply because I was looking at the order flow, and we've created some single prints here on the way up. Can you see that? So this is a new session, New York. You see we've got some single prints here. We have a buying tail here too, and then we've got some single prints slightly lower down here. You want the values of the single prints, I'll write them out for you. So that's probably going to be the best place to buy if we get a pullback. That's the first area. Try and refresh this. Let's have a look at the order flow. Well, the CVD's going up like mental, isn't it? Mental. For that 8.8 million long in the highs, increasing OI 6.7 bullish, but it was just literally absorbed. I like this dominant order size. Look, plus 3.6, plus 8.7, plus 15, plus 11. There's a lot of volume coming in here at this level. I hope we don't get a failed auction, because that would trap a lot of late longs to the party. Why didn't they long lower down? Why are they longing here? I have no idea. Why did they long at 91k when I said long at 91k? You know, whatever. The CVD's going mental, isn't it? Mental. I can't see any bearishness here. And I can't see any big liquidations either. So that would be the first kind of warning sign, is if we get a kind of a big liquidation, because usually those liquidations like to reverse. We haven't seen that yet. So I'm just trying to see if there's any divergence on a slightly higher time frame, and I can't see any bearish divergences yet. It's looking quite good. It's looking quite healthy. Everything's looking good. All right. Little bit of a short squeeze. You take the price up, and now you're getting these late longs coming in, but they're obviously thinking 100k now. These longs that are coming in now, what are they thinking? 100k. That's what they're thinking. Hi, altcoin dreaming. Nice to see you. Altcoin, pretty good trading, huh? Like yesterday, the support held. Tuesday night, point of control held. Lots of good stuff, huh? V-shape is on. We're on track for a V-shape recovery. Not too shabby. Looks pretty good. So I was just telling David a little bit earlier that ideally what you want is the V to continue. You've got this kind of 4-hour pivot there. We really need to take that pivot out for a V on the 4-hour pivot, and ideally also, if we can, we need to take out this daily pivot too for 100k tap. And what I'm imagining is, if we can successfully push past this area, is I'm imagining that maybe if we do, we could come back down all the way to this daily level that we're forming today for a 50% retrace. That would require the price to kind of reject at somewhere around 101k. And maybe we can have a little bit of an alt pump over the weekend while we kind of head down to this, back to this area to go back up. And then that's kind of what I'm imagining right now. The other two scenarios are a bearish one, which would be a lower high here. We're kind of at that area now, to be honest with you. But because we kind of V-shape, 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 I don't really expect it to hold. I think we'll probably push up. And then obviously the other kind of V idea is always that we just blast through. If we blast through, then you're kind of looking for the neckline to hold again for continuation. So you've got two types of V possibilities, and obviously you've got a sloped neckline. I'm not crazy about this sloped neckline, because it would look really bearish if we can't get up, if we start to fall down like that. So if you start seeing the price action fail to make higher highs here, falls back underneath that pivot, starts to put lower highs and a flat bottom of sorts, and you start to see a developing neckline like this, I really think that's pretty bearish. This structure now, if it created a structure like that, it wouldn't look pretty. Yeah, it wouldn't look bullish. It would start to look really bearish, and you'd probably end up with a swing failure and a dump. So there's like 3 ideas there at the moment, and there's probably more. and then there's always a bearish idea. I was actually telling David about your trading strategy. I still haven't fully grasped it, and he was interested to know. David is my long-time real life friend here, David, and we kind of learnt trading together, and we both kind of were part of Chart Champions together for a while. But we are interested to learn new methods, and your method is quite interesting because it's very simple, isn't it? It's not complicated. It doesn't look complicated once you grasp it. But what you're kind of, I think David, what he does is he's looking for closes, candle closes above the value area of the candle for continuation. I think that's, am I right? Is that what you do? That's what you're imagining? It's something like that. And you're looking at multiple time frames. So looking at this one, yeah, no, above daily VAs. Isn't that what you mentioned yesterday? No, I think every time frame he's looking for a close above the VA or below the VA, obviously, if you're shorting for continuation. I think it's something like that. Relative to the VA, yeah. So he's looking at 4 different time frames here. 1 hour here, daily, 4 hour, and the weekly. And I think this is, last night I think we were looking at this, weren't we? Where it closed above the value area, and that was the reversal here. Do you see that? And then it closed above the value area, it closed above the value area, closed above the value area, it closed above the value area. So you have this kind of this trending continuation of price closing above the value area. So there. Sorry, let me just go back to what I was saying. So you have this chart. This is altcoin dreaming's chart, and you have these 4 time frames. And what you have here is the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, and the monthly. And the reversal is here. And you see here you've got the candle close above the value area of the candle, and that trends. So it's trending here. And then you also have the same thing It's not trending though, isn't it? The 4 hours kind of going up and down. But the daily here, the weekly is trending, isn't it? Although that was that. So what you're saying is that if you get a close above the value area on this relative time frame, that's a bullish signal or a bearish signal for continuation for the next candle that prints. Let's have a look at that.
What if I could teach you one simple yet powerful trading strategy?
This is a volume profile. And this is an extremely powerful setup using volume profiles that I call a value area rollover. And this is another high probability setup that you're going to learn today called a value area retracement. For a lot of you, this is going to drastically improve your day trading. Volume profiles are the core foundation of order flow trading. I believe it's the most important indicator a day trader can learn. It's even extremely powerful for long-term investing. It will improve any trading style or strategy by providing an inside look at participant activity, which allows you to determine the best trading setups that can result in huge R multiples. When I began my first trading job 20 years ago, every trader at the firm I worked for was purely a level 2 trader. It's important as you will use rallies through a low liquidity zone and closed out slightly. Once again, bullish as price closes above value. And how about this last one? The swing and ridden this trade back to lows. Start. The profiles we're looking at here represent first.
All right, it's quite interesting, huh? So thanks for the link. Let's post that in the Discord. Where should I put it? Chat, crypto. Got a new channel. Crypto, crypto chat on Discord. Oops, just the wrong one. I post it here. Recommended. Can have a look at that. All right. If anyone is here and they're not in our Discord, then I can send you an invite. So what I was saying with Bitcoin is this. Sorry, it was on XO, wasn't it? I'm looking at 3 different ideas potentially. I'm looking at a bearish idea, which would be kind of this lower sloping lower high, reject, fall back underneath this pivot, right back down to this daily open, kind of put volume here, take maybe the final kind of liquidity grab from a local SFP and then reject. That would be bearish, right? So for me, this price action is bearish, where you get a sloping lower high slope and you just can't get higher. You just have to, you just struggle and then you just fall right back down to the point of control. I think this would be really bearish, actually. I can't see us getting out of price action like this easily, especially after we've had a V shape. You'd basically end up losing there, and even if you found support for a little bit, you'd still lose it. It would look really bearish. It would look really bearish. So if I start seeing that, I'm going to hesitate. I'm going to start putting my finger on the caution button if I start seeing price action like that. Ideally, what you want is continued V-shaped power. That's what we need. We need continuation. We need continuation to push us to, at the very least, to take that pivot. That would be another V, a V on a different time scale, the 4-hour time scale. We need that V. Even if we put a lower high on the daily time frame, I wouldn't be too worried if we can hit a 4-hour time frame V, which would be that pivot. Okay, that would be a V all the way up to there. We don't need to go and break through, but we do need to see V's. Okay, and then we need to see pullbacks to hold support, and the target for a V on a pullback is always 50%. Okay, it can sometimes overcorrect to the golden pocket, but most of the times it's about 50. And then obviously the best case scenario would be either to push up and take the daily high for a higher high on the daily time frame. That again, I'd be thinking maybe a pullback, depending on whether we get a swing failure or a rejection above the high. Somewhere around 101k would be great, because that would give us a nice juicy 50% target, which would line up with the value area high here and this new daily level that we've just printed today, assuming that today is a green candle. And then other than that, you just blast through to higher numbers, and then you're looking for a pullback to the neckline. That would be the most extraordinarily bullish to experience that. And so you're kind of looking at a variation of 3 options right now. And we're getting a little bit of a pullback here, a little bit of a swing failure here. So we've got a bit of, we're going to trap a few longs. Obviously, it looks like we're going to trap some longs here at the moment. But there's quite good volume. But it's again, this is terrible longing. Whoever decided to long here. Again, on this time frame, it's a V. So we are getting V's. We're getting lots of V's here. V, V, V. That's another V. There's a V on this. It's a V on this kind of here. Could you fall back to go up? Yeah, you could. You could still do that. Yeah. And so that's kind of what we want. We want continuation. If we can, but we can't put a lower high in here. So we're kind of at that level where we might put a lower high, and so I'm a bit cautious, and I kind of don't really want to do this kind of lower highs. Then it would then mean it would go back up to kind of find another lower high here. That would be really not good. Okay, I'm not thinking that way. I think we'll just continue, but you never know, so it's good to kind of consider bearish ideas. If BTC is pulling back, Bitcoin dominance is still quite weak, and the DXY has gapped down, I think. So that's weak as well, isn't it? If it gaps down, then that's generally considered weak. It'll go up, fill the gap, reject off that 236, hopefully, and continue to the downside. That's what we're kind of hoping for today, if possible. For continuation, and we have our 50% target of this harmonic, haven't we? So it's funny, I actually drew this as it was happening, and look, it's already working out nicely. All right, so that is that. The weekly candle, let's have a look at the weekly candle. Well, the week hasn't finished, so has it? And we've had the back test. We've gone down, we've claimed liquidity from the low of the previous week. We're right back at the high. I think that's bullish. Yeah. I don't think we're going to end up back at the bottom of the candle now that we're back at the top of the candle. Okay. I think at the very least we'll end up at the top of the candle. Now the question is, do we end up with another green candle pushing higher? Or do we just end up with something like this with a it's not a hammer at the moment. At the moment it's not a hammer. It's like a dragonfly doji, except it's not a doji yet. So CoinDream has also showed me these two indicators where you can actually program it to tell you what these candles look like. So when in doubt, God, I should have, when in doubt, just select everything and see what it tells you. Nothing at the moment. Why isn't it working? Oh yeah, because I've got it hidden. Let's hide these. Yeah, obviously it hasn't finished yet, so I don't know. Bullish engulfing. Spinning top. STB, is it? Spinning top. That is a doji, but it's called a spinning top, I think. Spinning top black. That's called spinning top black. Which is a doji. It has the same impact. Bullish engulfing. I think with a bullish engulfing, I would imagine the target is the range of the candle. Personally, usually that's your measured move is the candle body itself. So I really do think we're gonna go for 100k. Yeah, and I'd like to see that today, if possible, because that would be really bullish, isn't it? To get 100k today, and then the weekend we can just have a nice altcoin pump. Just pump on Saturday. That's kind of what I want to see, if possible. And that kind of would follow the last few Saturdays. We've had a pump on every Saturday. BTC kind of corrects. Last Saturday. BTC's red the last two Saturdays. But what you get is basically correcting, and you're getting ETH BTC on the Saturday goes up. See, that's a nice green candle there last Saturday, and the Saturday before was a nice green candle on underneath BTC. And so hopefully that's kind of what I'm imagining, if we can get a nice bullish Saturday for ETH BTC to have a little kind of alt pump. Yeah, so let's see what happens. So Altcoin Dreaming is sharing his layout. What this? There. Nope. So right now we're actually looking to close underneath the current value area, above the previous value area. What would you say to that? Is that the end of the trend? Is the trend over? That's not a continuation, is it? Do you look to take the next, would you look to exit the next candle into the previous range value area for a back test? That would be your exit in your trade after you've kind of completed this trend. And here you've got the daily that's looking to close outside the value area. Here the 4 hour is actually freezing a little bit. Potential reversal starting, yeah. With a swing failure, that is a potential reversal starting. Well, I've taken profit on my trades. Let me have a look at them again. No. So, okay, if it stays above the previous val, while closing below val, I'll wait to see the direction of the next candle. So if it closes above, so at the moment it's not above it. So where are we now? We're 1243. At the moment it's not closing above it, is it? So you kind of, if it's closing in between, then you wait. But if it's like this, then the next candle is an exit candle for you. The first push up, you exit, or you take profit, or scale back or something. See, now it's coming to the previous candle point of control, so it should find some support there. A lot of traders got trapped. The previous VAR you don't want to lose. Value. So you don't want to close lower. Is that what you're saying? It doesn't matter if you close inside, you just don't want to close lower, or closing inside the same as losing it. All right. So you have a definite kind of exit, which is the value area low of the previous VA. That would be 97037, thereabouts. All right, we'll see. We'll have a look, because I'm going to be on for the next bit, so we can have a look at that together. see how this plays out. It's quite interesting. I really like it. I like candles, so, and I like volume. So I have there's an affinity, isn't there? And I like candle closes too. So it's a big combination. Good combination. Whew. Oh, I'll go get a drink while this plays out. Let me go and get a drink, and then I'm gonna come back, and this is gonna, we've got another 15 minutes on this time frame. And then I kind of want to kind of look at CLORE AVA CBY as well quickly. I'm going to make some short videos because I'd like to share them, because that's kind of how I can attract more people. I've got these kind of little cults. Ali Hash, if he's still here, he wants me, he's begging me to look at Slurf. Let me have a look at Slurf for you. What do you think about Slurf, Ali Hash? Like, you come and asking me, but what do you think? You said it's leading. You said it's leading Solana again. You noticed that yourself? Look, I mean, BTC's pulling back, Slurf is kind of holding strong. Solana's pulling back, Slurf is holding. Look at that. Let's have a look. So you you reckon, well, I mean, I think it's inevitable. I kind of agree with you. A Binance listing. I don't know about Coinbase, but definitely Binance. Maybe Coinbase too. This is Slurf Sol on the right, Slurf on the left. And I mean, you can't, I was really looking at this in depth, just out of curiosity, just trying to see if I can figure something out in this chart, and really I can't. This Slurf Sol chart, it's so erratic the way it moves. Okay, and maybe because of the Binance listing, I don't know. Okay, I was just trying to see if there's an edge, if we can find an edge, but I really can't see one at the moment. And here you've got this kind of, oh, they're both the same charts. What the fuck am I doing? Sorry, let me pull that to Slurf. Yeah, that's better. I just look at, I'm just comparing these charts. I can't see an edge. Here it went all the way down. Slurf was giving up all the way down, and here it was holding higher. I just I don't know. I mean, normally I would say that's divergence, wouldn't you? That's the only thing I was thinking of, divergence. Divergence. They should really follow the same path, no? Because when Slurf goes up against USDT, it should go up against Sol, and vice versa. Anyway, look, we have a clear level here, holding support. Yeah, we've got some lower targets, but the reality is that what Slurf needs to do is find strength. Yeah, for me this is strong. This is a really nice bullish engulfing 4-hour time frame candle. I think that's strong. I like that. I don't know why it hasn't called it. Why hasn't it called it? Look at this 12-hour. Look at this. Look, bullish engulfing on the 12-hour time frame. That's a strong candle. Yeah, you just can't ignore those candles. Now, the last bullish engulfing was this one. And look here, like I was saying yesterday, it looks like we're putting in higher lows. And if that continues, then we'll probably end up squeezing up and pushing higher. And that will be it. And that would be it. That would be your correction. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Okay. Just based on what I'm seeing, you're into oversold here on this time frame, this 12-hour time frame. We are forming some kind of bullish divergence here. You can see it because the price is like this. Get rid of that. Okay, get rid of it. Let's get rid of that. And this is like this. See, there's divergence. This is looking more bullish because the price is holding higher prices and the MACD is pushing lower. And really, when it comes down to my Elliott count, I said that this is the level that we need to hold. Yeah. So while I was hoping for lower, it doesn't mean that I'm, I'm still buying. You just don't know. You just can't predict the future, can you? I'm trying to find my Elliott wave count. Where is it? I've got so many slurf charts now. I would argue that that support has held this back. I really would argue that. That's a really major SR flip. We've hit it once and we've held that support. I don't think we're going down anymore. I really don't. Okay. And even though you can always go down and one more liquidity run, take the liquidity, I think support is holding. That's what I think. Yeah. And when you get these kind of bullish engulfing candles, that's kind of what you want to see, isn't it? You want to see bullish engulfing candles. They're quite strong candles. That being said, on this daily time frame, we are range bound, and you kind of want to break the range to the upside now. Okay. Here, you really want to push up now, or today or tomorrow. You just want a nice push up. And then you don't want this correctiveness to continue. So while you have a corrective nature of this price action here, we don't want to kind of fall into like a corrective continuation, like a corrective trap, so to speak, where slurf is actually still correcting. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that's your first part of the correction. We don't want to kind of get into a second part of correction like that. Yeah, where it's kind of slowly grinding up, and then you're still looking to kind of go down once more for the actual real kind of fall. Yeah. Now, the reason why I'm contemplating, it's always good to contemplate continued correction, right? While I think it would be bullish to keep on consolidating here, like the longer we consolidate here, the more bullish this becomes. Because what you end up doing is you're putting volume at a higher price, you're finding support, and you're proving support, which would be this level here. At the same time, it's going to frustrate a lot of people, because it'll go up and then they'll get trapped and they'll sell, and then it'll go down and then they'll go up, whatever. I don't think this would be bad either, but ideally it won't really happen like this. If we are going to continue correcting, I think maybe after this move it would probably be like this. It would probably be more like this, and then like this. It'd probably be more kind of extended flat if we are, and then what you would see is a 3-wave move, 1 2 3. It would look really impulsive. People thinking, oh, this is it, let's go to the heavens, let's go to the moon or whatever. And actually it will only be 3 waves, and then you'll just end up falling back and trapping a lot of longs because people are longing the highs again, and you're still looking to correct right back down, and then you end up with kind of more like something like this. Yeah, still the same thing. You're still coming back. You're still coming back to test the same level, okay? And then you're forming a higher time frame. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think it largely depends on when Bitcoin is able to do what it does, okay? And so we don't really know what's going to happen next. We just know that we need to hold the support for the next wave, which will be a 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and then we need to go up as high as possible to capture and clear all of that liquidity before we can kind of have a nice kind of corrective to higher time frame, and then maybe in February or whatever we can kind of pump to. I think there's no limit, to be honest with you, because if you can, just looking at this structure and just looking at the way we're forming some kind of bullish foundation here, yeah, there's not much volume resistance higher up. If we can clear it now and we go corrective for a month, maybe even coming back down to the same level, but I don't know, then the rest is just price discovery, isn't it? It's just explode to the 2. And if retail jump on the way they did in the last market, within the space of 2 weeks, you could be looking at like a $10 slurf. It's just really shit happens, huh? Crazy shit happens in crypto. Yeah, meme frenzy. Yeah, just don't know. So holding spot is really good, and then trying to time the ending is really good too. I would like to see how everything ends by end of March, to be honest with you, because that's kind of where the last alt, actually the last alt season went a little bit berserk in April, didn't it? It was March, April. It was April, and actually what needed to happen was Bitcoin needed to go flat for the altcoins to kind of go crazy. So these valuations are not true, right? So even if it goes up to $10, you're never going to be able to extract the $10 valuation of slurf that much. It all comes down to the volume at the end of the day of how much value you can extract without crashing the price, okay? So that's why slurf is a good contender, because the volume hopefully will go up to the multiple billions by the time the valuation reaches higher numbers. But let's see what happens, and then obviously you have to exit, you have to take your profit, you have to. Then you can give me a good tip. Give me a tip. I'm just kidding. All right, I think I'm going to go and get a drink, and then come back. Maybe a tea. ATR. So we're kind of closing underneath the point of control here, huh? On BTC. What would you think of that? You think you'd wait? Is that a wait? See what happens? Or is that a exit next candle? This is the test on the V, and this kind of, we kind of have to hold here. Yeah, it looks pretty bearish, huh? Look, it's already falling down. The altcoins aren't really dropping though, are they? The altcoins are kind of going up. So I'm not quite sure if it's bearish or not. Because usually if Bitcoin pulls back, the altcoins pull back more. But I'm just looking on my phone, looking at the altcoins. Well, see, it's already underneath it, huh? So it's we're getting a little bit of a sell-off. I think there's a lot of trapped traders got trapped, which is causing this. They're not liquidated yet. Look, 8 million long right at the top. Some shorts coming down. VWAP and PV stay high is next. So there's quite good confluence there, and also the weekly POC, point of control. There's quite good confluence at the VWAP for a bounce. So maybe let's see how it bounces from the VWAP. Maybe that's why the altcoins aren't necessarily still holding on. Okay, so you're looking at confluence of multiple value points of control on 4-hour time frame candlesticks, which align with the 1-hour VWAP. Okay. I actually like your analysis. I like the way you do it, because you're still looking for confluence, but you're not necessarily looking specifically for fibs. You're looking for confluence of volume in previous price action, and obviously the local volume as well. It'd be a lot easier to do this using spot. When you're doing leverage, it's a lot harder. Let's see how that's reflecting to USDT. That's going up. ETH BTC is going up. Okay. Dominance is going down. So actually, I actually think this is quite bullish. If BTC goes down and dominance goes down at the same time, I don't think that's bearish at all, because the reason why it's going down is that people are buying altcoins with their, so if they're buying altcoins, putting BTC down, it means that they're not bearish, it means that they're bullish. And what happens is BTC comes down, it just grabs more liquidity from the rest of the markets who are trying to actually buy BTC. Let's have a look at SUI. We're kind of at the area for reversal now for the C to end on SUI, 1-to-1 on this structure. So, and it's come to 786, trying to get back above the point of control. All right. I'm gonna go and make a little bit of a tea. I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. I'll leave it on the order flow. There's no divergence here, huh? Not at the moment. Okay, let me bring that back. Right, what's going on here? Well, the price went up, didn't it? 5 minutes ago with a shorts close. Shorts opened in this candle, didn't it? Let's see what it looks like on the main screen. It's holding the back of this pivot again. Fill these single prints. Like an extended flat correction now. I think it's likely to find support on the VWAP if it wants to continue, which is what you're saying. Yeah. Don't know where to put it now. For that, it's amazing. So we know where we know what's happening now. It's plain to see, huh? When did we analyze it? It was here. Oh, 150%. 150%. La, yummy. Well, you can't question what's going on, right? It's heading for the all-time high with a 618 in between. So that's your target, isn't it? Another 100% more. That's basically it. So this is obviously wrong. That would have been a great entry though. Yeah, great trades, well done. Amazing. Yeah. I think here as it held the point, got back above the point control, that was your key kind of indicator for strength, because it takes strength to get back above point control. It takes strength to get back into the value area, to be honest with you. Once you lose it, 50% held. NFTX 6. So that means it's trending higher, isn't it? Is this the correct one? It's trending higher. And that's the breakout there. It's like a triangle, flat top triangle breakout in September. Well, you know what else recovered quicker than BTC? It was MicroStrategy. Look at the higher time frames. Like, it's up 2000%. So, whereas BTC, what's BTC? 400%. Just from the January 23rd low here. This was the trade, really. Taking the high from the tech bubble. Look, it's literally MicroStrategy has recovered all the price action from the .com bust. Crazy chart. I don't know what you call the guy, a genius or a charlatan, who knows? A maverick. Flip support here and goes higher. Basically, that's basically what's going to happen. Flip support here, lose that, then you're going lower. So, but the guy just keeps on printing to buy BTC, doesn't he? Just keeps on printing his own stock. He's found a hack. And the market's open yet. DXY is finding resistance off that gap there. So that's quite a good sign. Look, showing some selling tails there into the gap. That that 1 hour candle pattern is actually bearish. It's a dark cloud cover with increasing volume. It's actually really bearish. But altcoins are okay, yeah? I'm just looking at all my altcoins. They're not really giving up any of the gains. All right, let's have a look at TRVL. I want to make a video of this, so yeah, TRVL is looking okay. It's not looking too bad. I had a trade plan from this kind of rounding bottom idea here a couple of days ago, and the price is up 3.5%. It's okay, it's not too bad. The point of control has moved into the middle of the range. The price is trying to get above it. This is the combined chart. You see the price is trying to get above the point of control. This is actually quite good. So what you want to see, and at the moment you can see there's a little bit of volume coming into Bybit, and so earlier on Bybit, what I saw was that there was some market buying. You see these wicks on top of these candles. This is just people market buying, illiquid market. So you get slippage and the price goes up. That's kind of what you want to see. So even though you have wicks on top, you think, oh, it's bearish. No, not really. They're selling tails, but it's not because people are selling. It's actually because people are buying. That's why you're getting these wicks on top of the candles. And then when you look at like other exchanges, KuCoin, you're getting something similar. Not so much on Gate. And you see on MEX, you see now we're getting some selling tails. This is actually people market selling. So whereas here you see the tail on top, that's people, someone market buying. So let's look at the average of the exchanges, and at the moment it's looking quite good. It's looking quite, as far as I can tell, it's looking quite bullish. It's looking bullish because you effectively have some kind of V here, and you're falling down into kind of a corrective channel here, and what you want to see next is strength to take us higher. It's kind of what you want to see next on this kind of local time frame, take us to the highs. Ultimately what needs to happen is we need to flip the value area high into support, and then we can head to higher prices. That's really what needs to happen. Until that happens, nothing's going to happen here. You're just going to be range bound until TRVL can find its way. I think that would be a sign of strength because you've got this kind of broken triangle idea. It would require strength to get up there. And then also I would notice on TRVL a little bit of bullish kind of divergence is forming on local time frames. 15-minute, you see, look, a bit of bullish divergence here forming, which led to this flattish correction here. And then when you go to the higher time frames, you can see it clearly. The MACD is actually kind of trending down, whereas the price is trending flat. For me, that's quite bullish to see that. So it kind of gives me, it would give me confidence to buy more when I see that. But obviously the problem is that it's a liquid, so you have to buy and you get slippage, etc. And so you're never going to get it at the price that you want unless someone sells, and unless if there's no one selling, and then there's no one selling. You see here on the 12-hour time frame, we've kind of gone flat here, haven't we? This is, for me, this is a flat correction here, and what you're seeing is the MACD is trending down. Okay, so I consider this to be really bullish correction, for the MACD to be trending down and for the price action to be going sideways. I consider that really bullish. Okay, holding this higher time frame pivot, SR flip, 5.5 cents of the higher time frame to 2.36 level. So kind of what we want to see next in this context would be to kind of hit our next target, which would be the next fib level. That's the 77% increase in value. I think there is going to be a bit of resistance there, and what you really want to see is a little bit of kind of FOMO to push it higher. I mean, really, until we see this pivot taken, I'm not like, I would be scared that we put in another lower high and we head down again. Yeah, so I'd be very scared. And so what you do need to see is less and less selling, and maybe the context of where we are in the bull market will prevent people from selling so quickly now. So the last time we hit that level, we hit it in March, the end of March, and when we hit this level, look, it was end of February, end of March. If we come up here now, it's going to be much quicker, it's going to be much sooner. We can come up there in either December or end of November or beginning of December. Oh my God. I don't know if anyone's here. Probably not. Nightmare. My UPS exploded. And then it tripped all the fuses. Right. Let's see. What's happening with Bitcoin? What time is it? All right. Okay, there's no one here. Well, maybe there is. Let me just go over these coins that I wanted to do. I think I'm going to have to go over TRVL one more time, just because I wanted to create a video. I don't like that 2-hour candle. Has the US market opened? Let's have a look. Yes, it's opened. Looks like it's gapped down. Okay. I need to get my phone. I'll be back in a second. All right, I'm gonna have to restart everything because I've just been trying to deal with some stuff and my stream has gone to shit. I should have just stopped my stream, I guess. Apologies, I'm gonna have to go and cut it out. Am I connected? Yeah, I'm connected. It looks like I'm connected. All right. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. I mean, I think we're going to pump this weekend, personally. It's hard to tell you why, but it's just based on the last couple of weeks. I think this daily candle needs to kind of close quite strong. And I'm just very cautious because I don't want to see a lower high here either. So I do think we need to go up. This is a bullish continuation, but it would start to look bearish if we had another, it was followed by a red candle tomorrow and it couldn't close higher than this previous day high, this previous day high. But at the moment, because we're quite early in the day, we've had a kind of a tiny swing failure here, but you see the price is still trying to consolidate here. I think probably for continuation. That's what it kind of could look like. This is like showing, we look at this, there's bullish divergences here on this MACD, isn't there? So I think that's not a bad thing. And when I look at the order flow, I could probably see something. I imagine I'm going to be able to see something interesting. Let me have a look. Nothing interesting yet. So it'd be good to see some bullish divergences. I like that we're above the VWAP. I like that we're above the previous day high. I think that's just generally quite bullish. And I think if you start losing the VWAP, losing the previous day high, then I think it's going to get bearish quite quickly. But you know, maybe still the sentiment is like, just we've had a couple of bullish days, so maybe the sentiment is still pretty bullish at the moment. Right, going back to TRVL, because I really want to just kind of make a nice short and sweet video there so I can cut it later and post it. I've noticed on TRVL that we're getting some kind of market buying on Bybit, and you can tell that because you could just look at the wicks on the top of the candles. So do you see this? This is all market buying, market buys, market buys, market buys, market buys. We're getting quite heavy reaccumulation or accumulation here at the moment. You see there's market buys there. And we had a big sell and the price didn't flinch. And generally speaking, I think this is looking like a nice flat consolidation range. When I look at the MACD, I can see that we're forming some kind of bullish divergence here. This is going down, this is going flat. Okay. And then when you kind of zoom out a bit, go on a slightly higher time frame, it's kind of the same idea. It's kind of MACD was going down here, and the price is actually going sideways. When you're looking at this kind of time frame, the 4-hour time frame, we've got nice bullish divergences here, higher low. And when you're looking at the daily time frame, although the 12-hourly time frame, you see kind of the same idea. You've got this kind of flat and you've got the MACD pushing down. So we're getting quite good absorption here. I think if it would have been bearish by now, we should have rejected from this area. And so it kind of holds to my thesis that probably we're in a new area right now. And we probably won't be looking to revisit lower prices necessarily anytime soon. That being said, no one can predict the future. No one really knows what's going to happen. So it's just what is happening right now. You can see on this kind of weekly time frame, as we broke into above this 5.5 cent mark, we've just been consolidating here. And what's interesting is I've already shown you this in the past. We have a higher time frame trend-based fib time. This is where we are. We're kind of testing support on fib time, and this is looking good, isn't it? It's looking good. I think it's looking good. You see how we've kind of tested 5.5 a couple of times now, so you could say that this is finding support. We're finding support here. While people are anxious for the price to go up quickly, I think that because we're in a little bit of an uptrend now, because the bullish market structure, because the structure of the market is bullish, because we've basically reclaimed a lost area here, a lost level here, it doesn't really matter. Like if this was to kind of go up and down or do whatever here for a long period of time, I think I would argue that this is actually extremely bullish. Like I'm not trying for the price to go up, just simply because we're in a mini uptrend. And what tends to happen is if the price isn't ready to go up, you're just going to get accumulation until eventually there's more buyers than sellers, and the price just kind of expands upwards to the next level. Okay, so I'm not like desperate. I'm not like I don't really. You see, when we came up before, we came up quickly. We didn't create any foundation, any structure, and then it was difficult to hold until we eventually lost that area. And the same kind of thing happened the previous time we crossed that area. It was kind of when it came back down, it was kind of, there was no volume. It was difficult to hold the area. Now we're actually putting in a little bit of volume here. We're trading, there's a little bit of trading going on here, and we're trying to find acceptance on higher time frames into this area. And so when you're looking at the whole of the weekly time frame, you see that it's very different what we're experiencing here to what we've experienced before, above 5.5 cents. And that gives me confidence that actually maybe now TRVL is at the right price. Yeah, this is probably the right price for TRVL. And naturally that's good. It's good because we're nowhere near the lows anymore. We're 200% above the lows now, which is really good. I think what I'm looking at the lower time frame in this local range is still some kind of flag. Yeah, before we were looking at some kind of pennant. Oops, if I can draw it correctly, some kind of pennant, which broke down, rounded at the value area low of this mini kind of consolidation range. Before, the point of control was higher up in the higher of this range, and now what's happened is that the price has managed to put in enough volume in the lower part of this range to bring the point of control down. And now what you see of the price is we're forming some kind of local bullish divergences here, and we're trying to reclaim the point of control as support. And I think that would be quite bullish. And so effectively what you're seeing is a little mini V here with a little kind of consolidation. And as long as we don't kind of take the lows there, that wouldn't be good. Then I'm kind of expecting that we kind of probably make an attempt for the higher of this range. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I don't know how long this kind of range bound activity will last, but naturally to go up, what you do want to do is you want to flip the point of control, sorry, the value area high into support for some kind of bullish continuation to the upside. Okay, that's kind of what I think. The longer we consolidate here, the better. Actually, I'm not really in a rush for TRVL to go up necessarily, but I am actually kind of like, I am kind of with a small kind of account trading this. So let's see how it goes. I'm feeling good about TRVL. So what I'm effectively looking to do is trade this a little bit, buy the small amounts in the lows, sell small amounts in the highs, and then see how this plays out, separate from my spot position, which I'm not planning to touch until we get to higher numbers, maybe 30 cents or more. It's kind of TRVL at the moment, and it's looking quite good. To be honest with you, it's looking good. Of a lot compared to a lot of altcoins, it hasn't felt, I never really felt that TRVL was in danger. You see a lot of altcoins, they've pumped and they kind of, you feel kind of a little bit scared that they're going to fall back and you're going to lose all your value. With TRVL, I don't feel that. I kind of feel like we're kind of holding support and we're showing like the right things, the right signs at the right places, which is the value area low. We're kind of forming kind of nice patterns which are bullish. When I kind of compare it to, say, ETH, for example, well, ETH is having a little bit of a run, isn't it? And that's natural. And so everyone expected that. We all expected ETH to do that. Eventually, ETH will give all of its gains to all these smaller coins. And then when you compare it to Bitcoin, again, we've had some nice moves against Bitcoin. We're currently about 21% down, so it's quite a volatile token. But I am still aiming for the golden pocket, which will be way above the value area high. That's kind of where I'm targeting. I don't see why we don't get there personally, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's about a 700 or 800% increase in value against Bitcoin. That's kind of TRVL. If there's no questions, I'm just going to move on. Oh, no questions. It says unable to connect to chat. Am I streaming? Darcy is here. All right, I refreshed it. Yeah, all right, guys. Darcy, well, you know, I again, I'm not trying to give advice because I don't want people to kind of hold me for why I said or what. Look, I was trying to explain to you what was happening with the price, right? And I think I was looking at it today actually on your behest. It was coming into a good area, you know, holding the golden pocket and the 618. Yeah, I said this is where the price is trying to get to, but you know, that's all. It doesn't mean it's going to get there. If it went there, it would be a good time to buy, a great opportunity to buy. But the thing is, you're coming into a really important area. You're coming to the golden pocket on a fib time. So I kind of imagined possibly that it could possibly kind of round here and try to get back up. So I don't know if I was giving you hope, but that's kind of what I wanted to see, and we're seeing it. So so that's kind of, it's giving you hope, isn't it? So like, okay, maybe this is trying to get back up. All weekends are kind of pump weekends, aren't they? So sorry, right now all weekends are little kind of, weekends are pump, the bump, blah, blah, blah. Let me rephrase that. The BTC Trump weekends are the pump weekends, aren't they? So the fact that you held on, you've got, you know, so far I could argue well done. I do think you're over leveraged. So You have to reconsider that. I can't tell you what to do. You may think that you may hold on. Once the problem is this, you'll get to your 12 cent mark and you may go, this is good, I've got a good position now, let's just hold on, you know, but you're still, just consider that you're still over leveraged. Yeah. If you have a tight liquidation point, this is how it works. Okay, so let's just say your entry is at 12. Let's just say your new stop loss is here, higher low. You like this kind of structure that's forming. The price is trying to find support here. Maybe it does. Okay, your entry is at 12. Okay, what's your risk there? Well, from 12 to being stopped out is about 20%. Yeah. So your risk, you actually, if your initial position was $5,000, you're risking $1,000 or something like that. Okay, that's your risk. So it's actually, if you had $100,000 account, if you literally had $100,000 sitting in your account, that would be correct. It would be the correct risk to reward ratio, because you're risking 1%. And then if you do actually go up to the value area high, you've made a 1 to 3, and so you can actually make 3%. You can actually make $3,000 in that trade. Yeah. And that makes sense. It makes sense in terms of your actual account balance. Yeah, your account balance is 100,000. You can risk $1,000 in this invalidation. And the thing about trading is that you lose some. Yeah, you don't always win. You lose. You just have to make sure that you win more. Yeah, that's the key. You don't mind losing because you know you can win more. Okay, but the problem is that if your account balance is 5,000 and you're risking 1,000, you're risking 20% for your account. Okay, and if you lose 1 or 2 or 3 times in a row, which happens in trading, then your account balance is down to 2,000 or less. Yeah, and there's no way to recover from that. That's the problem. Yeah, so you have to expect losses, and that's the, if you don't expect losses, then there's no way to recover, because you over trade, not over trade, but you over leverage. So you just have to bear that in mind. So I think in a bull market, it is possible to X up your leverage. Yeah, I think lightly leveraged in this moment of this bull market is very forgiving, because generally speaking, the market is extremely bullish and people are buying, and retail hasn't come yet. And actually, for a very short period of time, maybe for about 1 or 2 weeks time in the future, maybe March or the beginning of April, there'll be a very short period of time, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, so just keep an eye out for it, where you can go a little bit mental with the leverage. Yeah, but the strategy would be to separate your account into an extremely high leverage account and not your whole account. So it would be like to say, well, I'm going to go mental with $100 on an extremely high leverage, but it has to be, the conditions have to be right. And you'll know, because you could, the way to do it is to start small. And if you just, every time you buy, you see your price, it just keeps on going up and up and up. You know, you could be in that kind of euphoric stage where in a very short period of time, like max a week, maybe 2, you can just be making a ton of money. And you just have to be aware of it. It's only 2 weeks and that's it. And like in the whole of the bull market, that will never come again for another maybe 4 years or more. Okay, it is coming. It's euphoria, and you'll get that's when retail comes in a lot, because they think they're geniuses because they can just buy and then they can 2x their account. The reality is, we know that 2x is nothing in crypto when we're actually trying to 100x our accounts, you know. So retail will go, wow, look at this, I made 2x, and we're like, ha 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 ha, I just dumped my 50x on you. You know, that's the reality of what will happen in the future. So just, I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're in that situation yet when you can go multiple X leverage and just forget about your entry. Don't even care about your entry because we just go up and up and up. Right now, we're still, BTC is still trying to get above 100K. So it's still quite volatile. It's not, we're not clear of 100K yet. So we just have to get clear of 100K. Okay. And okay, so if you keep DCAing and you become over leveraged, right? As soon as you break even, quickly halve it so you can continue DCAing. Does that make sense? Yeah. You have to keep an eye on that. Don't get greedy. If you're going to do that, just, you have to remember that as soon as you go break even, you have to reset your account position so that if it does drop, you have the ability to DCA. And if it goes up, who cares? You're making money. It doesn't matter. You don't have to push it. Yeah. And that way you have a wide enough stop, and the volatility of the market usually allows you to come out with break even on half or some of that position. And you know, sometimes you have to take a small loss if you feel unsure, but on average you can still continue DCA. And so I do that, and I've made a ton of money doing that. Yeah. But the reality is that I will reset my leverage at the first opportunity if I'm not sure, if I don't feel confident. Sometimes it continues going up and I go, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And I can read the charts. So your emotions will always play tricks with you, especially the biggest most of the time when you're leveraging large amounts of money. That's when your emotions mess you up. So anyway, I mean, at the moment it's looking okay. Okay, so we've got this really important level, this 50%. We kind of tried to find a higher low here, and as long as we just flip this area, then let's see how far we can get with this. Is it impulsing? Well, clearly not yet. It's not impulsing yet. Not yet. It's only, look, let me just get rid of this now because it's kind of just brush strokes and retracements. Let's just hide these. I still have that alert. If it comes back down, I'm taking it. Looking at Myro the dog's impulsive move, I can't actually see it on this chart because this is all corrective, right? But it shows me the volume. So when you're looking for impulsive moves, look at the historic impulses, right? And what you do get are higher lows on the green daily candles. See that? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Just continuous higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So that's what you're looking for. That's the trend, isn't it? It's a higher low trend. You're going to get that. High low until these people got stopped out. And it continued for a little bit longer. Okay, for the final wave. That was like the latecomers. Okay. So you're looking for that. And then also you're looking for green days. Yeah. You're looking for green days. Green. Yeah. You're not really looking for reds. If you see reds, it has to be a higher low. So you can see that higher low, and the green, the red doesn't take out the green low, and it puts in the higher low, and it continues. Okay, so that's kind of what you're looking for. I'm seeing it. Even here, you see. Follow the wicks. The green wicks. Follow the green wicks. All right. This is looking good. Huh? I like this. I'll be honest with you. I like this. If we get a strong close here, has to be a strong close. You've got a daily level there. That's going to act as resistance. It'd be amazing if there was a way for this to kind of break that level today. It'd be amazing if it was possible. I don't know. That's a swing failure of these lows. Back into this local range. There's your natural resistance there at about 12.1. So this local point of control, value area high. Yeah. Then it might kind of go up and try and come back for testing, and then we have to see what happens. Yeah. And the price will always go up and down in waves. So at the moment, I'm not seeing the impulse. I'm seeing corrections, corrective price action. But it could be the beginning of the impulse. We are expecting some kind of wave 2 continuation. Maybe the correction is over. This is the 618. It's a good place. Could it go up, find resistance, and come back down to complete my pattern? Of course it could. So you have to be aware of that. Yeah, it could totally do that. It could totally go up here, find resistance, and still end up at the right place. Yeah, so just be aware of that. All right, and you're talking about the MACD 12-hour. Yeah, I mean, these are signs, aren't they? These are kind of signs. Doesn't mean it can't come down again. Like this MACD could cross now. It could do this, and then it could do that, couldn't it? It could totally do that. You could totally get, it would be a different kind of divergence here. It would be lack of participation. It's divergence. Like this is bullish divergence. It's different from before. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Okay, I'm just saying it could. You just have to contemplate what could happen, and then just kind of be cautious about the possibilities if they arise. Don't just kind of freeze like a rabbit in the headlights wondering what's going on. So it's kind of like you're preempting good situations and preempting bad situations, and that kind of keeps you calm. I like that there's a little bit of absorption here. I like this as well. So there's something else I like. The CCI, I use it a lot. There's a 12-hour CCI ghost pattern here. A ghost pattern is considered to be a reversal pattern on the CCI. It's like a ghost head and shoulders. It's like an inverse. It's actually like an inverse head and shoulders. It doesn't really matter about that. Usually it's a small head and 2 arms. That's why it's called a ghost. But what you've clearly got here is a trend line break to the upside, and it's actually back tested the minus 100 level as support right there. That's considered a reversal pattern. You're going to find natural resistance at the 0. You're going to find natural resistance at 100 and then 200. That's where your resistance levels are. So I use CCI a lot to to see where my SR flips are, and I know where they are. That's where they are. So that's something to bear in mind. And then when you're looking at this, you see this is quite nice. We've got a 0 line reject there. That's a reversal. You've got a double reject there. That's a continuation. And we're pushing into overbought territory at the moment on the 4-hour time frame. That doesn't matter. It could go up, and if it starts trending up, it could do that and until it finally breaks down, and still the price could be trending up. Yeah, the price could be kind of pumping while this, so you wouldn't necessarily go, oh my god, we're overbought, I need to sell. Usually what happens is when it starts to hook, CCI starts to hook, that's when you start thinking about it, or when the CCI kind of crosses back into the lower territory. That's kind of when that's how you use this. Yeah, it's an education, CCI. I find it really useful, but once you learn it, you have to learn how to use it. It's mainly used for currency trading. This is looking okay, yeah. And the 12-hour candle is the whole thing is a bullish, is a reversal pattern. You've held this wick as support. The price has failed to get underneath this wick, hasn't it? And right now you'll try and just look at the wick. Just look at that 12-hour wick. The price is trying to get up above, which is that neckline that I talked about, wasn't it? Trying to get back into this neckline. The fact that the value area is back in the value area, you see it tried to stay out and it couldn't. It just came right back in. So that's kind of like a good place to scale back up to that place. And then the good thing is, if you scale back, then you can probably do dollar cost average back in. If it goes down and if it goes up, you're making money. Take profit, take profit and buy spot. If you're bullish on Myra, buy with your profit. Just keep your account size fixed. Don't overdo it. And then with your profit, start accumulating spot. I mean, with spot, at least you don't have to worry, isn't it? You can just, otherwise, I mean, you can exponentially increase your account size, sure, but it becomes more and more stressful. If you can manage a 5K account using a strategy that you've developed, which is dollar costing averaging, using leverage, and then you reset your leverage every time if you kind of go under and it comes back, that's your own kind of technique, then make sure you take profit and then don't increase your account size. Just buy spot with the profit on tokens that you enjoy, and at least then your spot value will just go up with the alt season. You don't have to worry about that. That's kind of your protection. Not financial advice. It's an idea. There's many ways of doing this. Okay. All right. So 121 major resistance. It's local resistance. No, I wouldn't say major resistance. Local resistance, because you have this point of control in this volume. Yeah. It's local resistance. I don't consider this major resistance. I consider it's the 382 here. It coincides with this value area, this point of control. It's just a place that if anyone is longing from lower down, the swing failure, they would take profit at 16% increase in value, wouldn't they? That's a good place to do it. Does that make sense? So the reason why you get pullbacks or you get resistance is because traders buy and then that's where they sell. Yeah. When you're talking about major resistance, I think in this context, that's your major resistance up there at 13.5. That's your golden pocket. And that's the value area high of this overall range. This is your major resistance there. Okay. Golden pocket value area high. That's resistance. Okay. Doesn't mean the price can't show strength and go through it. So it's just, yeah. Look, TRVL, just be aware of TRVL. Yeah, I'm bullish on TRVL because I think it's going to get on Coinbase. So it's a long play. I'm bullish on TRVL because it's an RWA. It's an AI connected with Fetch and with Fetch AI, and they're going to be in the marketplace. I know the team personally, and I've been involved as a volunteer. I don't get paid by them, as an investor and a volunteer, for 3 years, you know, so I've really got to know Dtravel and TRVL very well. I'm an Airbnb super host. I've been doing Airbnb for 9 years. I've got a 5-star profile on Airbnb. This is me, actually. 4.99. Almost 5 stars. See, I've got a lot of reviews, 9 years hosting. I've been doing this for a long time. I've got properties in London. So for me, Dtravel is a natural Web3 disruptor. But just be aware, Dtravel TRVL is a very illiquid token. It's a relatively low market cap token, and it's not a meme coin. Yeah, so it's a real business, and it may not pump the way tokens like Slurf or like Myro the dog will pump. Okay, with Dtravel, it's a higher time frame play. It's a multi-year play. It's like 4 or 5 years or 10-year play, and it can only grow. Okay, but it's a long play. Okay, so what I'm doing with Dtravel and TRV is I'm making people aware, and at the same time, you know, you could right now go online to their Dtravel, to their app. You can search for a property in Costa Rica, okay, on holiday. You can search for your family, and you can book apartments. Yeah, the network isn't big yet, but it's kind of like Airbnb in the sense that you can book apartments for short stay vacations, and you can book direct. So when you click on someone's profile, this is the actual owner's profile that belongs to them. It doesn't belong to Dtravel. And so when I pay, if I was to pay here now and reserve and put my dates in, it's quite fuller, this property. If I click on reserve and pay, not only can I pay in crypto and the transaction is recorded on the blockchain, see that, but also I'm not paying fees. So you see, you have credit card fees. With crypto, you don't pay the fees, and also you're paying it's cheaper because the property owner has to pay Airbnb. I pay Airbnb 15% plus tax. I pay Booking.com 20% plus tax. When it comes to Dtravel, when someone books directly, I just pass on the saving of the fees to my guests so they get it cheaper. And most of the people who are listing like this do exactly that. Most, not all, but most do that. And so it's a play. Yeah, it's a long-term play. It's a real-world business. As crypto grows, I expect this to grow too. And there's a lot of interest in this from kind of big investors. The market cap is relatively cheap. Yeah. At the moment, we're at 20 mil market cap, and there's a lot of room for growth if we have the ability to capture some of Airbnb's market share. We don't have to capture that much to become a multi-billion-dollar token, to be honest with you. We only have to capture about 0.5%, 1% max to be able to do that. And then this will already go up like 50 to 100x in that time frame. The problem with Dtravel, and so I'm not just trying to show you a token. The problem with Dtravel is it's illiquid. Okay, it's illiquid because the volume is low, and we just need to get to higher prices before that happens. And also the Dtravel team need to implement certain features which are in the pipeline. And so what I do as a hobby is I'm charting TRVL as a hobby on a daily basis. It's like a journey, isn't it? And in the future, I would like to see Dtravel to be that big Airbnb killer, and then I would have charted the journey. So for me, it's quite an interest. Like it's quite it's an interest, isn't it? I'm interested to see if it plays out, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't really matter because I like charting anyway. And so sometimes I give like relatively good calls. Sometimes, not always. I had a trade plan here for a long. It's already up 3%. It's a liquid, so you can't use high. I bought like $1,500 of TRVL here, not leverage, it's just spot, and I'm targeting the top of that value area. That's what I'm targeting with my position. I actually bought today as well, so I bought 2 positions, so I scaled in on spot, and I am starting to trade it now. I never did 6 or 8 months ago, but now I'm trading it just for fun. Yes, I do. I do. I think it will. I don't know, but I do think it will. Look, inverse head and shoulders. Let's go to the value area high now. We have a V shape. This is another V shape. We're getting a lot of V's, aren't we? Lots of V's, and generally speaking, V's are bullish. Again, I said if you lose that line, you're going down to 50%. Yeah, it's just the way the markets work. Yeah, generally speaking, the markets will pump. They'll come back to find liquidity. If it can't find it, it will go back to 50%. Yeah, the golden pocket is the trader's entry, but generally speaking, the market tries to revert. It tries to balance. Okay, so that's why I always say 50%. On some trading platforms, they say the golden pocket, wait for the golden pocket. But when you're like dealing with spot, you're aiming for 50%. When you're using high leverage, you're wait for the golden pocket. Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, because generally speaking, when you're losing, recapture the golden pocket. That's a trader's paradise. That's a trader's delight. But when you're doing spot, you can swing 50%. You can swing it. You can scale into 50%. Yeah, this is looking good. We'll probably take that high. Let's see how it goes on with. Let me have a look at the order flow. I don't know if you've been watching me all week, but I've been talking about a V-shaped recovery all week, literally. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I really have. You know, I've been contemplating 91k as holding a strong support. Even when we were at the highs last week, I talked to people on my stream. I said, if we go back to 91k, it should hold. And it went back to 91k, it held. We're getting quite good volume here. And we're getting some aggressive longing here. So this is nice. Even if we reject 99k, I wouldn't be too worried. Because earlier on, I kind of did an analysis. We're clearly breaking the idea of a lower high, because that was I was a bit worried about that. Okay, lower high here. We're clearly out of that territory, and so now all we have to do is I come up with bearish and bullish examples, and I don't usually just do one way, because I like to kind of contemplate bearish when I'm doing things, just because if I start seeing bearish price action, then I know, because I've already mapped it out. So the bearish one is not in play, is it? Because we've literally breaking past that descending trend line. If it was bearish, that would have held. Yeah, if it was bearish, we would be seeing this now. We'd be going back. You'd see. Yeah, it can't be bearish. If you're going up, the price can't be bearish. It's just and that's the pivot to beat now. So we only really need to get to take out that pivot. And the reason why I say that is because that's your V shape to that pivot, right? On the daily time frame, sure, let's take out the high, but actually, technically, we don't need to take out 100k. We could actually just take out this pivot. That would be enough. That would be your V. Okay, once you have your V, then you have to hold 50%. Okay, if it continues, then fine, we can V up all the way to 101k, but you still have to hold 50%. Yeah, 50% is really important with V-shaped recoveries. Now, if you overextend, then you have to hold the neckline. And now we had that behavior yesterday, didn't we? So, or the day, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. When I did my stream yesterday morning, I talked about the V-shaped recovery here. In my morning stream, I was talking about this. That was your V, and then that was your neckline. And I said the neckline has to hold. That's your V. So I drew it out yesterday in the morning. So it's really good when you learn patterns, because I know a lot of traders don't like them or don't trade them, but I like them. This is really strong. We came back and kind of held this value area high. So I'm quite pumped about this pump. Yeah. I'm just looking at my positions now. Hoping that I've made a bit of money. Yeah. I took profit earlier on and my positions are still back up. Yeah. I took profit and I bought TRVL and my TRVL is up. I did that this morning. So yesterday I took profit and I bought TRVL. Today I took profit and I bought TRVL. So I've been using my profit to buy TRVL. Just not that I need TRVL, but I wouldn't mind pumping it a little bit. Like adding to TRVL. Tree, hello. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I don't know when, but I've been having conversations with some key people in Dtravel, and they're very optimistic about it happening. I don't know when. I'm trying to push for sooner rather than later. That's what I'm pushing for. I'm pushing for sooner rather than later. I'm trying to push for it to happen so that, I mean, maybe I shouldn't share this, but who cares? I don't care. What I want to see with TRVL is a clean break of these highs. Yeah, this area. And I think we're going to need a Coinbase listing to do that. A clean break with volume. We need a clean break with volume. Yeah. And then hopefully everyone who's in TRVL can have a nice take profit. And then hopefully everyone in TRVL has the will buy back in. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And it would be back down to go up again. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm pushing for. It'll be like an inverse head and shoulders breakout, come back to the neckline for a test, and then once it's on Coinbase, hopefully we can get more interest, more volume, and maybe also we can use that volume to get onto other exchanges and derivatives, etc. So I've actually made the suggestion. Let's see what happens. Okay. The alternative, like otherwise, when are you going to do it? When are you going to try and get on Coinbase? And so they're ticking all the boxes, and that's the main reason why we're primarily on the base chain now, in terms of all the transactions, all the data, it's all recorded on base now. It used to be Binance, then they changed it to Matic, and now it's just base. And I prefer base actually, because on base the gas is base, whereas on Matic and Polygon you have to have Pol as a gas, whereas everyone has ETH, so it makes more sense to just have it on base, doesn't it? And just for ETH to be the gas, and it's still a layer 2, so the fees are significantly less. I think that's just the best case scenario for us in this, and then going forward, obviously we want TRVL to be on every chain as a value, as some kind of value where people can actually transact. So it'd be nice in the future, even though once we're on Coinbase, it'd be nice for TRVL to like expand to Solana and some of the other chains. Oh, you think so? Coinbase and UK? Yeah, probably is. Yeah, probably is. Yeah. So let's see. It's a play, you know, it's a long-term play. I never advocate for all in. I think all in is, generally speaking, it's a high conviction play, but you'll miss out on so many opportunities if you're all in on one token. When I look at my chart, look at all these. These ones that say interest, I have all of these tokens, yeah, every single one. And then when I see CLORE go up, I'm happy because I'm not all in CLORE, I'm not all in TRVL, I'm in both, you know. I've been looking at both, And let's have a look at CLORE now, because I wanted to have a look at CLORE. CLORE AI, it's a Solana token, I think. I've been mapping out this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave, trying to work out this correction, this corrective move. I think we got it on point. I don't know if people realize how accurate this was, my corrective analysis was. Yeah, but you just look at the 618. So the last time I updated this chart was on the 22nd of November. Yeah, where I've got the because the first thing I do is I update the volume. Yeah, and you can see where I updated it last. It was where this blue line ends. So that's the 21st of November. And I haven't looked at this chart since. Yeah, and I just mapped it out, mapped out the moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mapped out the correction. I timed the end of the correction. And look at that. It's gone up. 70%. Not too bad, huh? Not too shabby. I'm not too... Sometimes it shocks me that I actually managed to do shit like this. It's quite funny. Let me have a look at... I'm not bragging, honestly, because I don't have a big position either, so I'm not like rich. Yeah. Basically I've doubled my position from where I accumulated here. Almost double. Not too bad. It looks like we're impulsing, huh? This is quite nice, sir. This is quite impulsive. It's kind of what you want to see. Impulse. This is like the wave 3. And what's interesting about this, if people aren't familiar, is that this is the wave 3. So you've had this kind of impulsive beginning. Let me draw it. Let me pull it out for you. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the beginning. We're going all the way back to when the token launched. Then you've got this kind of really prolonged corrective move down to here. And now we've started our wave 3. This was the wave 1. And we've had this kind of corrective ABC extended flat. And then we've had this kind of continuation. It's like a continued extended flat. Hold on. No, that was wrong. Sorry. This is my previous analysis based on... This is correct. Sorry, my bad. So that was something I was entertaining with Name, I think it was, who was coming on my streams. His idea was that this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but actually I didn't think so. I thought it was actually up to here. So when I pull this up, it's got his, because I like to entertain other people's ideas. And we had this kind of debate on my channel about whether that was the first wave and whether this was the correction here, like that. And it clearly wasn't, because we went lower and then we didn't impulse up. And so in hindsight, it's much clearer in hindsight always. His analysis wasn't actually on point. So let me just delete it because it's kind of a bit distracting. That. And then you've got the correction. Let's have a look at it. That's not correct. That's, yeah, so that was it, wasn't it? This is it. And then you don't have that double combo there. You basically have 5 waves down, ABC, ABC. That's what happened. Like a WXY, which ended up as a wider ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, ABC. That was your WXY. So you have your first wave here, and then you have your corrective move down to here. And so now, on time, which is really good. So I can kind of delete that now. We've cleared a lot of this volume, and we're right above the value area high here. So this is really bullish. I'm going to delete these now. I can clear some of these brush strokes now, and I can just chuck all of this into my Elliott wave folder. Okay, so what we're looking for now is two things. We need to count the waves. Darcy's asking me what would be a good entry. Well, we're pumping, aren't we? So it's very hard to enter when you're pumping. You have to just scale in when you're pumping, or you just have to buy the dips. And also you have to take profit because you're pumping. You know, you're not coming in at the right at the bottom. You're coming in mid-flight. Just going back to my Elliott wave count, if I just kind of hide the corrective moves, so it's just the waves now. Okay. Which one is that? So this is kind of where we're at. This is your one, and then the higher time frame. I mean, yeah. Let's just kind of go. So basically what I've got is this was your first impulse, isn't it? After you launch, you impulsed. Yeah. Where does the impulse begin? Probably after you launched. Probably. Yeah, not the actual launch, but probably the day after it launched. Okay. Even though I've got this line going down to here, it's probably the day after it launched, where people started to buy up impulsively. Okay. So you got this kind of, on the higher time frame, you've got this kind of 1, 2. Okay, do you see where I'm going with this? This is just kind of, it's on its way, huh? It's beginning. That's kind of what I'm perceiving on a higher time frame, potentially. Timings aren't correct. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. And this is the wave 1. So we've completed the wave 1 here to there. And this has to go 5 waves now. It has to 3, and then you have to 4, 5, and you have to clear this area here. It's really important, yeah, because you don't want to end up failing and then this whole thing continue. It's almost like the correction. It's really weird because this is what could happen if we continue, but if it doesn't continue, you could end up with a much higher time frame corrective pattern, even though we're impulsing now. Even though it's impulsive, if you end up coming here and it starts, you lose interest or something happens, you don't take out the high, you could actually end up with a higher time frame, this, yeah, a higher time frame corrective pattern. Yeah, so there's always a bullish and a bearish idea. I'm only really contemplating bullish, but there always is a bearish idea if you can't 5 waves to higher prices above that pivot. And that's important, because if this is the wave 3, yeah, if this is the wave 3, then the next wave, which is the 4, to comply with the Elliott wave rules, it has to at the very least find support on the top of 1, which is there. That's why you have to go higher. Okay, so it's not enough. It's not going to be enough for this to just do this. That's not enough. So it's just things to bear in mind. So let's just say, for the sake of this example, that we are in the beginning of the next wave, which is the wave 3 of the wave 3. This should be the most impulsive wave. Okay, so I'd like to see this take go up to the all-time high, personally, in 5 waves. And then I'd like to see the next wave break to higher prices. And I'd like to see that happen. I think it has to, really, if this is the beginning of the next wave. All right, it's kind of what I'm thinking right now. And just kind of for the sake of, it's looking quite impulsive. I want to see volume, though. I want to see more volume. I want to see a bit of FOMO volume coming in here. So these are your kind of fib extension. Look, the 1.618 is clearly your target at the just below the all-time high on this from here to there. That's your target. That will take us to all-time highs. Okay. I'd like to see if we can get there in 5 waves. Actually, at the moment, this is your 1. We're in the 3. And maybe this is the 1 of the 3. It's looking quite impulsive. It's just buy. It's just higher lows. It's all like one impulsive move at the moment, isn't it? This is all one impulsive move at the moment. Yeah. There's no correction here. And this is your first impulse. Maybe that's your first correction. And then we're now impulsing again. So let's just kind of map this out and see where we go to. But honestly, if this is the 3 of the 3, which it should be, then I won't be impressed unless we can take out the all-time high in this move, in this wave. Personally, I want it to be really impulsive. Which chart are you talking about? This one. Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. So I can't give you a good entry because the great entry is passed. I think you can still scale in, but you have to time base it. You have to base it on time, not on price. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna FOMO in. Or you have to base it on some kind of, you have to base it on time. Yeah, it's really tricky because I generally wouldn't say buy the pumps, but if you're scaling in based on time, then you could potentially scale it. You could potentially scale in, yeah. So let's have a look at screenshot. So actually the really nice one was before, wasn't it? When I delete it? Screenshot that. 1.618 is really my target. $5. Well, I mean, who knows? No one really knows. Yeah, I can't tell you it's going to get to $5. Who knows? I'm just making that up, to be honest with you. That was quite an impulsive wave, 3,000%. I'd like, if we were to match that, then maybe, let's see. It's really nice, huh? There's really, honestly, there's really strong resistance here. I'm going to mark it out. There's really strong resistance here, for sure. Because I've just done a 618 and it's coming to the same place. So that's your target for now, 40 cents or 41 cents. And then a 1-to-1 on this move would be $1.7. 1-to-1 move. But you have to get there in 5 waves. And then this 4 could correct all the way down to the top of the top of this first one. So that's also something to bear in mind. That would be 1-to-1. I think you'd want something more flat there, though, to be honest with you. Right, I can screenshot that. I'm gonna have to go soon, actually. So I should post my charts here, right? Maybe I should do that from now on. But I don't really like how this looks. I preferred my previous. No, whatever. So let me just type this out. Extend. 41. Maybe I should do that for more. That's a good idea. How do I do this? New post. Let's see. New post that. Can people comment on that? The post that I did? So if you guys want to join my Discord, we've just started one from yesterday. You're welcome to join. I'll have to send you a link. Oh, all of them. I really am gonna have to. All right, I get it. All right. Thanks for reminding me. Next time that I do charts, I'm gonna try and make it much nicer, and I'll start screenshotting them and I'll post it in Discord. Okay, my bad. I'm not gonna have time. I have to go. Shit. I haven't done AVA or CBY. I'm gonna have to do it later. I literally have to go. I'm meeting someone at 4 p.m. Let me go back. That was nice, wasn't it? How good was that? All right. All right. I messed up my charts now, but I've screenshotted them and posted them. I'll have to kind of do it properly next time. Get in the hang of it. Sorry about that. I'll figure it out. Gotta figure it out. All right. Can you map out the Elliott waves for wave 3? Actually, what I would rather do is just be patient and just wait, to be honest with you. I mean, you've got to count, really, and just start counting. I don't know if there's any other way of doing it. You've got to count the waves. So you're looking for 5 waves, 3 impulsive, 2 corrective. If you can't see the waves, you kind of sometimes have to go to lower time frames to see if you can find the waves in the lower time frames. It's not always easy, you know. I'm just looking at this now. Maybe you had the first wave to there. Where did it start? Don't know where exactly. Maybe did it go to there, and is there a 2 correction, and now we're in the 3, 4, 5. Then you kind of have to zoom in to the lower time frames and just kind of make sure that you can see 5 waves. Yeah, you literally, sometimes you have to go to the 5-minute time frame, and then the rules have to apply. You have to apply the Elliott wave rules to all of your counts. They can't break. So 3 can't be the shortest, the bottom of 4 can't come below the top of 1, and 1 can't come below 0. Those are the 3 rules. So as long as those rules apply, and you're looking for impulsive moves. So I don't know really where this begins. That's clearly impulsive. That's impulsive. But I don't know, because if that's the 3, then this is the 4, 5. Yeah, 4 shouldn't come underneath the 1, so maybe the 1 was here. So you're just trying to see, like, maybe this was impulsive to there. That's your 1. This is a correction. This is your 3, correction, and then you've got your 5 there potentially. And so does that make sense? Yeah, that could work. That could work. The rules are in play. So that might be the one. And I say might because it's never 100%. There's always an air of doubt sometimes. Could that be the one? You see, that's what you're thinking. Could that be the one, or could that be the one? That could be the one too. That's the problem. Then you have a zigzag instead of an extended flat. Okay. Does it matter? It can matter. Yeah, it can matter based on targets. If that's the top of the 1 and this is the beginning of the 2, then when you do a fib-based, trend-based fib extension, let's just say for the sake of argument, I'm taking it from the pivot low here because I don't know where it really began. That's your, if that's the one, that's your fib-based extension. And then as you go up, the price really has to respect those fib-based extensions. Otherwise, it's not necessarily correct. Maybe that was better. And then if it's that, yeah, I mean, I prefer this, to be honest with you. I'm just looking at it. I prefer how the price respects the 618 perfectly here, and it finds support here, you see. So that's kind of, I use fib-based extensions to confirm my counts, because I like to see that the price respects the ratios as the price continues. Yeah. And so then I've got it in my mind that this was an extended flat type of correction. And actually you see that wave there. There's not really 5 waves there. It's just like an impulsive correction. So you almost have like a corrective, impulsive corrective, and then a corrective. And then again, you do the same thing. So you've got this trend-based fib. Potentially this is correct. We kind of front one the 1-to-1 here, and then we just smashed through it. It's really weird, huh? It just kind of destroyed it. And here we're coming into another fib, 1.72, finding a little bit of resistance. But it's really impulsive here now. It's really bullishly impulsive. So how do you count the waves here? If you can't see them, just zoom out. There should be 5 waves in this 3. Maybe the 1 was to here. You got a little correction here, and now we're in the next 3. I don't know. I think it's better to just wait for it to end and start correcting, and then you can kind of figure it out. Yeah. So CLORE is a good one, huh? CLORE AI is a good one. It's a Solana coin. We've been mapping it for a while now, and it seems to be nice. It seems to be on time, and it seems to be pumping right now. All right, guys, I really, unfortunately, I'm out of time. I'm going to try and stream later on tonight at a different place. I'm going to my sister's for the weekend. BTC is pulling back, so let's just have a look at BTC for a second and see if we should panic sell or not. Big take profit there. Some shorts coming in here. Did we take out that high? Not yet. Fuck. So we've had a clean a clean hit of the value area high, increasing volume. Now we're getting a little pullback. Didn't take out that high. We need to take out that high. Actually, it's actually really important. Otherwise, you don't have, technically you don't have a V if you don't put in a higher high. you only end up with a lower high if you can't take out that high. So, all right, let's see. We'll have to see what happens by the end of today. Fuck me. That sucked. All right, guys. I have to go, unfortunately. I'm not even gonna be able to make some videos. I have to do it later. All right. Take care. See you on Discord. Do you have a? Did you get the invite? The invite? I sent it earlier, but it probably expired now. If you want, you can join. And I set it up yesterday. Altcoin Dreaming is helping me out, and we're just trying to kind of have a really kind of chilled, relaxing, free community. No one has to pay anything for anything. Just spend the money on yourselves and learning. Let me see if I can find an invite link. I wonder how big we can make it, like a free, chilled community, instead of all these kind of trying to charge people a shit ton of money. Anyway, who knows? Yeah. If you want to join, and then we'll just try and build that chat. Yeah. I'm just trying to build it from scratch, really. So, all right, I gotta go. It'll be late. It'll be about 10 p.m. tonight UK time. All right. So we're clearly under a resistance now. Huh? Big TP into the Trump pump VAH. Again, we just have to flip this into support at the moment, and then if we can find support, we can have another attack. If we can take that high, that would be an amazing. All right, see you in a bit.